Am I the asshole for telling my wife it's her fault that our sons now hate and ignore their sister? My wife and I have 3 children. 2 boys 15, 14, and a girl. While my wife is a great mom to all of our kids, she always had a special bond with our daughter. I wouldn't frame it as classic favoritism, but as a little bit more attention and love. The boys were always aware of this and teased their mom with it jokingly, but it was never a problem because she really is a great mom to them too. A few weeks ago, my 14-year-old, let's call him Jim, and our daughter, let's call her Anna, had a big fight and a screaming match. It turned out that Anna took Jim's AirPods to her dance class, forgot them there, and tried to lie about it. My wife intervened and apparently took Anna's side. I wasn't there, so I don't know. My older son Alex intervened on behalf of his brother and told his mom that she is unfair. My wife doubled down and told them to FCK off again, no idea, and that Anna is more important. My boys swear that she said that Anna is more important than them, while she swears that she said that Anna is more important than a pair of AirPods. Alex exploded and called his mom AC, took his brother and left. My wife called them for hours, but they didn't answer. In the end, she called me, and I picked the boys up. The relationship between our boys and their sister has been dead after this. They don't talk to her, ignore her when she approaches them, and won't tolerate her presence. When she enters a room, they leave kitchen, for example. It is heartbreaking to watch. My wife tried to mend things and talk to them, but she gets aggressively ignored too. Yesterday my wife had a breakdown and started to cry after we went to bed and said that home life has been hell for the last weeks. I had little sympathy and told her to suck it up because it's her fault. She called me an and cried even more. Am I the asshole? I know I am technically in the right here, but my wife is already devastated and remorseful. It is my job now to help her the relationship between girls and boys in our home. Anna had to buy her brother a new pair of AirPods. We gave her the money that was supposed to be for her birthday. She will get nothing for her birthday in April. I wouldn't frame it as classic favoritism, but as a little bit more attention and love. That made me so sad to read. You're on your son's side, but you're not on it enough if you don't see that as classic favoritism. Not the asshole, I guess. Classic favoritism is classic favoritism. She should be called out on it. At some point the damage becomes irreparable. The boys now have each other. Your mother has not been a mother to them or the mother they needed. Your wife wanted a best friend, playmate, and someone to fulfill her emotional needs. She got your daughter. Not the asshole for calling her out, but also you're the asshole for letting it go this long. You knew this was happening. It's great you're on the boys' side now, but where was this years ago when they started noticing it and you knew they noticed it? Not the asshole for telling your wife what you did, but maybe for other reasons. Anna needs to own up for her actions and apologize and be clearly punished. Your wife needs to acknowledge clearly her unfairness and apologize for it. If the boys are unwilling to listen directly, a written letter or a video is an option. I've a feeling this was a final straw for the boys. They know what punishment they'd get if they lost their iPods, but Anna lost the iPods, and lied and got defended. You wrote this like a completely passive bystander, but you're in this mess too. Both you and your wife. You should be involved in fixing this dynamic. You've been aware of this and still let it get out of control even if you didn't directly cause it. I wasn't there, so I don't know. Again, no idea. They don't talk to her, ignore her when she approaches them, and won't tolerate her presence. When she enters a room, they leave kitchen, for example. It is heartbreaking to watch. So this is how you deal with a big family problem? You weren't there, so you don't do anything. Your wife needs to apologize, Anna needs to be punished, and your boys need to work on forgiving. You need to work becoming an involved parent instead of just sitting idly by and taking the stance that since you weren't there you can't do anything. There is no way your wife doesn't buy Anna a B-Day gift. Has your wife or Anna made a sincere apology to the boys? So there are 5 children and 0 parents in this family. ESH, though the people who are 39 and 44 should know better. My wife doubled down and told them to FCK off. This is not parenting. I had little sympathy and told her to suck it up because it's her fault. This is not a helpful contribution. If you and your wife didn't want to be parents, then the time to have that conversation was 15 years ago. Seems like a big blow up for one incident. More like the straw that broke the camel's back. ESHU and your wife. Your wife for the obvious reasons, you for not doing anything about the situation for weeks. You are meant to be a parent and a husband, not an impartial observer to all this. Not the arsehole BC, you're right, but you're the arsehole BC. You have been letting this go on for way too long. This is classic favoritism, by the way. Your sons can see it, your daughter can, hell I'm sure even extended family members can see it. Call it what it is. If you don't put a stop to your wife's behavior, get your fam in therapy or something, get your wife to sincerely apologize to your sons. It's not only going to be your wife who has no contact with the boys when they become adults and are able to make their own decisions. It'll be you too. Not the asshole for what you said to your wife. But you need to help your boys. And teach your daughter that her behavior isn't okay. It shouldn't be on your sons to teach her that actions have consequences. Info: have you discussed this with your kids at all? Or just your wife? ESH: it's your wife's and your fault. I feel sad for your boys. My mother has always favored my brother. Even after he growing up to be a physically sexually abusive drunk, she favors him. I hope Anna doesn't grow up with the same entitlement. Your daughter stole something valuable, lost it, lied about it, and your wife took her side. I'd hate them both too, they're kids. Also, if one of the boys did this, how would she have reacted? One thing about the favored child that isn't commonly known: the other kids resent the hell of the favorite. Instead of having love, it's anger and resentment for each other. Parent who play favorite suck. Not the asshole. Your wife is the architect of her own downfall, and she is the only one who can fix this. She needs to recognize her clear favoritism of Anna and apologize to you and your sons. This also includes punishing Anna for stealing the AirPods. Not the asshole. It's her fault. But do try to mediate in a big family meeting. After all, who wants their family split like this? Was Anna punished for taking her brother's AirPods? If not, then you have to lay out the rules for impartiality. You are 100 the asshole. You knew the kids weren't treated equally and you still downplay it. You clearly don't believe your sons and bases on you for answers here. Your reasoning is likely, I wasn't there. So you let things go until AITA family fracture time. What is your problem? Why didn't you intervene before? Why are you so hands-off now? Your family blew up and your reaction is appalling. You should be encouraging therapy. Or accept your sons will go NC with you as soon as they can. ESH: you for sticking your head in the sand and not trying to correct what's dysfunctional between your wife and children. Anna for stealing and lying, your wife for blatant favoritism, defending a thief, and her treatment of her sons. Not the asshole, but your wife told your sons to fuck off? Sorry, I'm not sugarcoating it with asterisks. What in the actual hell is that? I had a rocky relationship with my mom in high school. It was rough and she never once told me to fuck off. Outside of your wife playing favorites, that is so across all lines of decency. How you aren't furious with your wife and how she handled this and treats your sons is beyond me. I feel terrible for them. You suck too, my God. Those poor kids. ESH: but the kids? Why did you let it get this far? And your wife needs counseling. She is going to blame your sons when they take off and never talk to her or their sister again.